Ever wake up tired and wonder, why am I so drained, even when nothing's really wrong? Maybe it's because you're always the nice one. You smooth things over, you keep the peace, you put yourself last, making sure nobody else is upset, even if you are. Since you were little, the world told you, be good, be polite, be the peacemaker. The story goes, if you're honest, humble and kind, the universe will reward you. But let's be real, how's that working out? You keep hoping someone will notice, that being good will pay off. Instead, you find yourself stuck, tired, and invisible. You patch up everyone's mess, swallow your feelings, and wonder why no one seems to care as much as you do. And the more you try to please, the less you're respected. The more you give, the less you're valued. You wonder, is being nice just another way of fading into the background? That's when you start asking, does being good really get you anywhere? Let's dig into the uncomfortable truth behind this nice guy act. Here's the twist. All that be nice and good things happen stuff, it's just a myth, like a bedtime story for grown-ups. We're taught to believe that kindness is some secret weapon. But really, it's just a rule book that keeps us in line, making us easy to predict and control. How often have you bitten your tongue, let things slide, and told yourself, it's fine, just so things wouldn't get awkward? You've become the expert at saying yes when you mean no, forgiving before you've even healed, laughing off disrespect just to keep the peace. But where's all that gotten you? People don't reward endless patience. Instead, you're taken for granted, overlooked, ignored, maybe even used. That's where Machiavelli comes in. He wasn't saying to be cruel. He was just the first to say, stop trying so hard to be liked. Focus on being respected. He saw the truth. The world doesn't give out medals for goodness. It's the bold, the strategic, the ones with boundaries who get noticed. Ready for a reality check? Let's go there. Look at who gets ahead. The person who speaks up, sets limits, isn't afraid to be heard. It's not about being a jerk. It's about showing you respect yourself. People who can say no without apologizing, who don't crumble just to keep the peace. Those are the ones people remember. Why? Because kindness without boundaries is just weakness, and weakness gets exploited, not respected. You can be loyal, helpful, caring, but the second you're not useful, most people move on without a second thought. The world doesn't value good intentions. It values impact, presence, and confidence. If you're always chasing approval, you'll always feel invisible. If you're always giving, you'll end up empty. Want respect? Show people where your line is. But why is it so hard to change? Why do we get stuck in this loop? Time to look at where these habits actually come from. Nobody's born desperate to keep everyone happy. This habit gets programmed in, maybe by parents, teachers, or just society telling you that being liked is the safest bet. As a kid, you learned, be nice, don't make waves, don't get angry. You got praise for keeping quiet, and it felt good to fit in. Over time, you became an expert at reading people, changing yourself to match what they wanted, hiding your true feelings to avoid conflict. But here's the truth. People-pleasing isn't kindness. It's fear. Fear of rejection. Fear that if you set boundaries, you'll be left behind. You call it empathy, but really, it's just survival mode. You call it understanding, but really, it's a way to avoid confrontation. Soon, you're wearing a mask so long, you forget it's not your real face. That mask protects you from pain, but it also suffocates your real self. So how do you take it off, bit by bit, and start living for you, not just for everyone else? That's where we get practical, and that's where Machiavelli actually helps. Let's clear this up. Real kindness isn't the same as being a doormat. If you're always saying yes, always giving, always smiling at people who treat you badly, that's not kindness. That's erasing yourself. Being a good person doesn't mean never getting mad, never saying no, never standing up for yourself. True kindness has limits. It says, I can help, but I won't let you take advantage. You can be caring and still demand respect. You can be compassionate and still set boundaries. Even Machiavelli didn't hate kindness. What he hated was naivety, believing everyone will treat you well just because you're nice. In a world full of sharks, kindness without strength just makes you bait. Ask yourself, is your kindness making you stronger or just leaving you open to pain? It's time to be kind to yourself too. Start respecting your own needs, or no one else will. But beware. There's a trap on the other side too, swinging from people pleaser to ice-cold robot. Once you stop being the nice guy, it's tempting to go full ice, walls up, feelings off, no one gets in. You tell yourself, if I don't care, I can't get hurt. But cutting everyone off isn't growth. It's just another prison. You traded being a doormat for being untouchable, and neither one feels like freedom. Real power is balance. It's being able to say no without guilt, yes without fear, and walk away from what doesn't serve you, without burning down your whole life. So, how do you do it? Step 1. Speak up for yourself. Step 2. Practice no. Short, simple, no drama. Step 3. Notice who gets upset when you stop bending over backward. They were enjoying the old you for a reason. Let go of trying to win everyone's approval. Being true to yourself means losing some people, but you'll gain real self-respect in return. Let's wrap this up with a final wake-up call. Here's the reality. Nobody's coming to save you from being the nice guy. If you don't choose you, no one else will. The world doesn't hand out prizes for being everyone's emotional support system. So, you've got a choice. Keep living for approval, or finally, live for yourself. Say yes when you mean it, no when you need to. Stop apologizing for having needs, for wanting more, for taking up space. Ask yourself, when was the last time you did something for yourself just because you wanted to? When was the last time you said no and didn't feel bad? If you can't remember, it's time for change. Tell your story in the comments, because someone out there needs to know it's possible to break the cycle. You could be the reason they finally wake up too. This isn't the end. It's the start of your real story. Stay true, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next one.